Let's go down Jerome's. So one of the smartest moves the Vikings made last offseason was bringing in Brian Flores as their new defensive coordinator and basically head coach of the defense. Let's be honest here. Replacing Donishell. But Flo, with largely the same personnel as 2022, turned things around and turned the Vikings into a top 12-ish defense. They were the number one blitz team in the league. They were getting after things, and it was a little bit of smoke and mirrors, sure, and towards the end of the season, especially after that fourth quarter against the Bengals. The Vikings. The Vikings defense did what they could. Injuries eventually caught up, and it sort of is what it is. But the future is certainly bright with Brian Flores in charge of that defense, potentially long term. And one of his former players, Xavien Howard, former stud cornerback with the Miami Dolphins, recently released. Now, should the Vikings bring Xavien Howard aboard? If the price is right, but that could be muddied up since the Vikings did just pay Shaquille Griffin $6 million as a free agent. So maybe that checks the box in terms of veteran corners. Who really knows? But Xavien was on the OGs Show, which, by the way, great name. I love that. And also I love Mike Miller, University of Florida, Udonis Haslem, University of Florida as well. Plus, so Udonis is one of my favorite NBA players of all time. I need to get a Haslem jersey where he's had such an interesting career because he was the glue guy with the Miami Heat for all those years, and he was a badass back in the day. University of Florida with Miller too, and Udonis was undrafted, right? Because he was seen as sort of a tweener. He's like a 6'7", but really like 6'6" power forward, somewhere in there. But he came to the Heat, which is his hometown team, by the way. I think he's from Miami. And he just stayed for like 20 years, which is fantastic. He was part of all those championship runs, too. I mean, Udonis Haslem is fantastic, man. And plus, he's a true blue Dolphins fan. So they had Xavien Howard on, and they were talking specifically about Brian Flores. And this is what Xavien had to say.
Brian Flores was like that, bro.
I liked it, Flores.
Like,
I missed Flores.
He get all the this and that in the media, though. But, bro, he was a player coach guy, though. But it was like he came from the Patriots, so it's like he seen greatness from the GOAT.
Yeah.
He held everybody to a standard.
Yeah.
Like, me and Flores probably wasn't no buddy this and that, but I respect him.
Yeah. That's
How
all
he
that
came in
matters.
there. Yeah.
That's
How
all
he
that
came in there
matters.
every day. He
Mike
approached
Miller's
every day
high
the
as a
same
kite.
way. No matter who you is, he gonna chew your out you ain't doing something right. And he ain't gonna dap you up if you're doing something good. You supposed to do that. Don't worry about it.
We had like a little minor, conversation from
Man,
time to
great
time
guy.
about trying to get by and just have conversations with the team and just
Yeah.
speak on my journey, leadership, and different things like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely not surprised to hear what you said
Oh
about
yeah, great guy, man. Great guy.
So I love hearing that about Brian Flores. And Flo, I mean, Brian Flores has been fantastic for the Vikings. And it's exactly what Howard said, where Brian Flores is demanding. And also I love that Xavien Howard says that, they're not buddy, but he respects him. And that's exactly what player and coach needs to be. And Flores, he's exacting. He has high standards. The job is this is how you're supposed to do the job. And I love that Howard pointed out, it's like, hey, he's not going to dap you up if you do a good job, because that's literally what you're supposed to do. And that's great, because there are some players in this league and there are some teams in this league where, hey, you do a good job, awesome. Everyone's high-fiving, everyone's dapping each other up, everyone's patting poopers and all that stuff. But no, that's what you're supposed to do. Congratulations, you want a cookie? And that is part of raising the standard, because Flores was part of all of those Patriots Super Bowl championship teams, right? And also remember, his defense, when he was de facto defensive coordinator of the Patriots, his final year in New England, was the one that held the vaunted Rams offense to 3 friggin' points, right? And I think that obviously Flores' tenure was cut short in Miami because of dysfunction, primarily with ownership. And that's a whole big to-do. But if and when Flores gets another shot to be a head coach, I think that he will win a Super Bowl. And that's why we're so lucky to have him here with the Vikings, because it's very clear that the league is freezing him out. Didn't have a single head coaching interview request last offseason after he completely turned the Vikings defense around. All right, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. But could Flores be here for 3, 4, 5 seasons? Yeah, certainly, and also with him having a larger part in personnel, I mean he's being able to mold a defense that he wants, signing guys like Van Ginkel, signing guys like Gennard, signing guys like Shaquille Griffin, and also Cashman outside. How about that? And now, I mean, the Vikings are going to have a Brian Flores defense with Brian Flores standards. I love that. Absolutely love that, man. So yeah, the future is certainly bright with Kevin O'Connell potentially getting his quarterback in the future, and Flores sticking around. So I have big time respect that Xavien Howard came out and said what he said about Brian Flores, and I feel like that's been the line with Flores, where it's just respect all across the board, whether it's Christian Wilkins, whether it's Van Ginkel, whether it's anyone who's ever played with him in Miami, New England, wherever. And Brian Flores, he's exactly what the Vikings need on defense right now, and I cannot wait to see what that D is going to look like. Now they got the parts. To quote Andy Reid, "How about that D, baby?" That's right. That's right, man. But your thoughts are our thoughts. Xavien Howard has some real talk and some big-time respect for Brian Flores. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.